I see Wee. Hi, Wee. How's Wee doing?
Hi, it's actually Wei.
Wei. Oh,
I'm
it's
doing
Wei.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome, Wei. Wei, are you in the Bali base?
Yes.
Fantastic.
I am.
That's excellent. Okay, great, great. Are you the new full-time hire for our marketing team?
Yes.
Okay.
For the content creators, actually.
Okay, well, I think you're in the right place because this is definitely a discussion you should be part of, right? It is where we decide essentially what is on brand and what is not on brand. Why do I have this heavy blanket? Oh, yeah, because it's cold over here and it's raining in California. But I'll take this thing off because I look like some sort of Conan's dad or something. So, okay. Anyway, hi Vicky, how you doing?
All good, sir. I just finished a campus event during my weekend. So yeah, it's actually quite tiring, but yeah, it's okay.
Same here. Same here. I was caught in a thunderstorm yesterday on a bike and a scooter with Eka, and we were rained hard on. And then it was anyway. I was homeless for a little bit, and then eventually I ordered an expensive taxi ride to get back home. So okay. Anyway, that's besides the point. Let's go ahead and take a look at the brand guidelines and see where we are. Does anybody know where Gani is? Is Gani coming today? No. Anybody know? No. Yes. Okay, let's begin. So, evolutionary structure of the BV brand. We have Wei, who is the newest person here. So, Wei, please open this on your side so you can actually view it as well. This will be helpful for your knowledge enhancement. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the past discussions and see where we are. Oh, all right. First things first, Wei. Let's have Wei read this. Wei, expectations for new talent here in the chapter and expectations for the people who are already in the chapter. Wei, why don't you give it a read?
Uh, okay. So, what expectations should we have for new talent here in the chapter? Victoria said that new people should at least know our brand and read our brand book because in the end they will be producing content. For the interns, they have a set of documents they must read before, but the brand book is not listed among them. So we should put it in the orientation as well.
Okay, great.
Uh,
Okay, next.
from
Johnny?
from yeah from Masgani, the culture of reading and learning documentation. Tell them through the Trello card before we jump into execution.
Great. And me?
And from you, every discussion that we have should be related to the documentation, not just open-ended questions. Check and read the guidelines before we start a discussion. For the interns, we can ask them to make 10 pieces of on-brand content to see if they really understand the brand. If someone asks, refer them to the guidelines so it becomes an adoption process. It becomes real.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Wei. So that is our message for the new people here. So please take a look at that. Now, let's see. Actually, what is our method today? Okay, so let's take a look at this. Today we're going to be talking on personas. Okay, so what is on-brand persona? What is off-brand persona? All right. So we have this idea of what the Bukit Vista persona should be. Gani, where can we actually understand what is the Bukit Vista persona?
Um, Bukit Vista persona, we could find it on uh, the brand book. I believe sir on the Canva. So if I'm not mistaken, I already apa namanya, mentioned it on the beginning of the app. So,
Okay.
so
Uh-oh.
brand book.
I just found something wrong with the brand book. Anybody see this?
Oh, all right. It's typo. Okay.
Okay. So
Okay,
let's
okay, yeah, got
let's
it.
make a note of that. Yeah. Oh, this is a really good opportunity for internal open source, everyone. So let's take a look and see if we have that. Gani, do we have internal open source? Are we free to edit the WordPress page?
Yeah, we have it. The guideline is already put it on the coda, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
Okay. So let's go ahead and do that then. Oh, Oh yeah, we need to move to Coda soon, right, Gani? Gani, please
Yeah,
remind me.
yeah.
When did we say we would move to Coda? This week or last week? We'll change it for now. Okay, all right. Let's do that, Vicky.
Um,
Then, yeah, let's go ahead and change that so that the typo's fixed. But Gani, when are we moving to Coda?
um, from the official state from Mas Bayu and HR side, it's the first thing first we do MVP for HR, right? So
Hmm.
we haven't truly uh, running on marketing chapter, so
Oh, I
this is
see.
still on the way.
Okay, got it. All right. Well, Vicky's going to go to WordPress and change that typo, right? I'm going to reload at the end of today's session to see if this changed, and we will have practice internal open source, which means that everybody who sees a mistake has the ability to go and fix a mistake or to improve the guidelines. But let's be clear, Gani, I don't see the persona on this brand book layout yet, so it's not here. Where do you think I can find it?
Yeah, not persona. Wait, I wait. Mana ya? I forget. So
Mhm.
wait. And on persona. Okay. Mm, I think on this paper, on the persona host. Oh yeah, on the paper, sir, on the book is the brand guideline. On the
Mhm.
persona section, I think we just fill up the partner and employee, but it's just very basic, very fundamental thing.
Ah, here it is.
Not
Okay.
really.
We found it. It was down here.
Uh,
Bukit Vista avatar, brand
uh,
identity, and persona.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did find it. It is
It's
here, but it's not easily findable, right? We had to kind of dig around for it.
mhm.
And it
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
like it looks a little bit messy still, right? It looks like
yeah.
more of a
So
yeah.
so that time we still have a brainstorming, so we haven't yet apa namanya, declare what our
Okay.
persona means.
Okay. Got it. So we don't really have a conclusion from this yet, right? Or do we have
Correct.
a okay. Uh, okay, that makes it interesting then, I guess. I guess we will define the persona through exercise then, yeah? Um,
Mhm. So
hmm,
that's why after all of the time we use apa ya interpret, okay, the Bukit Vista persona is for the guest is fun, what's called ya, um, so young and then have a good spirit, something like that. And for partnership we have serious but casual, something like that. So
I see.
we just kind of like interpret by ourselves.
Okay, I see. Okay, so this looks like it's going to be like this then, right? So let's remember the Amazon mechanism of the tool. So having a persona is essentially having a tool. If we have a understanding of what the persona is, then we can take our time and we can produce content that is on persona, right? That speaks like in the voice of Book of Vista. But because right now we don't seem to have a persona definition somewhere. So we need to work the opposite way around now. We need to take a look at the outputs, which is stuff that we've created, and try to figure out what the input should have been, right? So we're going to take a look at what has been put here in the guidelines, and then look at what actually is the commonality that actually forms our brand persona. Okay, so let's go ahead and give that a shot and see where that eventually leads us. So let's go to the exercise now. So we have that. Unfortunately, this document is not very helpful. This just kind of speaks about persona as an idea, but it doesn't really say, well, okay, what is the Book of Vista persona? So I'm going to close that. I'm also going to close this brand thing because we don't have much there. So let's go here. Okay, let's go into what we have found so far and see what is on persona and what is not on persona. So first thing on brand, Jesslyn, you have brought this. Uh, Tell us why you think this is on persona.
Thank you, sir. Oh, when I took this picture, the one that I used as a reference was actually the column, the row at the top of this paper, where it kind of gives me an example of what our persona for our partner should be, and it was written that it is technical as well as behavioral. So when I see this picture, I think it explains a lot about what we do technically,
Mm.
and these terms like there's optimization, blah blah blah. It gives how do I say this? Like
Okay.
an understanding of what we do.
Okay. Let's go over and have let's get some opinions on this one. Let's go to Vera. Vera, what do you think?
Yep, I do agree. Like, it shows. I mean, like, it's not in detail, but like it shows like the what we're doing in a way. So I don't know. I think persona is something that we can showcase what we're doing.
Okay. All right. Does it give you a feeling about who Bukit Vista is by looking at these pictures and the way the text is written? Okay.
Yeah.
And if you looked at this, who would you think Bukit Vista is? Is it like what's the closest brand that it makes you feel like?
And looking at this, the only thing that I can think is like hospitality services.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Let's keep on going then. Let's go to Vicky. Vicky, what do you think?
Disconnected. So what do we discuss then?
What sort of feeling do you get from
Sorry.
looking at this particular set of photos and this representation? Why does it feel? Does it feel on brand? And if it feels on brand, why? Does it feel off brand? If it feels off brand, why?
Okay, so this is actually do some changes, I think, the last week. So what I want to try to show here is actually what we are doing as a property management. So what I want to portray, the feelings that I want to portray in this section is to let our partners know what kind of services that we do in our plan. So for example, we can see here that we have a real-time reporting. So here the photos that we use is the apps that we use for the real-time reporting, which is the Bivigo. So partner knows that we are doing really doing our work here. And for example, another example is for the sales and marketing optimization. This is somehow, I think, it is on brand, but in this case I don't know whether this is on brand or off brand, because if we look at that picture, at that photo, it doesn't directly shows that it is a marketing and sales optimization, but rather a discussion about the sales and marketing optimization.
Interesting. Okay, that's a good point.
It's
That's a good point.
on the
That is I see it. I see it. This might be actually better for community, right? Building community and training. Okay, interesting. Good point. Let's go to Gani. Gani, what do you see?
I see as a consultant, sir, in the first two pictures as a
Mhm.
consultant. So we provide the solution of the problem, and then
Mm.
after take a look on the guest relation and housekeeping, it's something like the testimonial of the social proof of the our client. Yeah,
Mm.
something like that. So I
Okay.
see as we are as a consultant.
Okay. All
Of the
right.
property
Good
management.
stuff. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's take into consideration what everybody said. I think the persona, if it's on brand versus off brand, right? On brand, it should be able to tell the story of the mission. Okay. Does it tell the story of the mission of Bukit Vista? Does it show essentially how do we inspire delight through hospitality innovations that positively transform GPE, right? Guest partners and employees. Okay, so if it's on brand, then you should be able to detect that, right? If it's off brand, then it does not tell any real story, right? That's pretty much as simple as that, right? Okay, so if I look at this, can I actually see where there could be hospitality innovations? Yes, I can kind of see that this looks like a hospitality innovation with the app. I could see maybe that looks like an innovation with the people hanging around the computers. Perhaps community on-site training, perhaps that's an innovation. But it's okay. I do register that, right? So that could actually start telling me that this is something that represents this persona. But is that it? Is a persona just about a particular mission, or does it have other dimensions associated with it? Let's go to Vera. Vera, is that it about a persona? Is it just about whether or not the story is being told on mission, or are there other sort of qualities involved in understanding persona?
Okay. Well, if me personally, I think like persona covers the whole thing, but
Mhm.
then it's kind of abstract to actually list like everything in a way. So I'm
Okay.
not really sure also.
Okay, let's probably see it this way, everyone. So the first part of your persona is your what, right? This is like, what are you talking about? If you're talking about something that seems like not really related to the mission, then you're probably not in the correct persona. The second, I think, is kind of like the who, right? And the who includes like, all right, who are you? What are you trying to say? Like what is your personality like, right? So if you looked at these photos and you looked at this way that this was arranged, would Booker Vista seem like what? Would it seem like a person who's open or a person who's closed? The question is to Vera.
Open.
Okay, but what makes it feel open?
Oh, wait, you're asking if like by looking at the web page,
Mhm.
is it? I don't know. They seem like a nice person in a
Oh,
way.
okay, all right. We seem to have, let's say, an open and nice personality, right? And we can probably see that because, all right, most of the tones are warm. It's kind of playful. You don't see like imagine this, right? Like let's say you take a brand like Uber, okay? So I think we all remember Uber when they were in Indonesia. They were very, very look black, 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 right? Very like formal, very almost like a tuxedo, right? But then you take a look at a brand like, let's say, you take a brand like Gojek, right? And Gojek has a very, very different feel to it. It is not formal. It is more playful. It's more round. It is more open to like new feelings. So this persona says less I am a professional, but more like I'm open-minded, I'm innovative, I'm creative. And so you can kind of feel it through the representation, right? And then you take maybe another brand. Let's say you take like a Nike, right? Um, Branded stories. Let's see if you can find anything like that. Okay, when you see Nike, you see lots of color. So there's an element of, let's say, diversity, right? It's not just like you compare that with Gojek and Uber, and there was all just really one color. But Nike seems to actually embrace a lot more different ranges, right? But the one consistent thing is the swoosh, the swoosh, the swoosh, the swoosh, right? So that seems to be part of the branding language there as well. But it seems like Nike is also focused not so much on themselves, but they're focused on something else, right? They're focused on the athlete. They're focused not on like if you look at Gojek or Uber, Gojek's mostly focused. It seems like the people who are representing Gojek, you don't see their faces, right? It's like the back of them, right? But you look at Nike, for example, and Nike, you always see the face, but it's not Nike's face. It's the athlete. It's the person Nike represents. So that is also kind of part of the persona, right? What face is your face, right? Do you actually have a face at all? You can take a look at Uber. Uber doesn't even have a face at all, right? What is the face of Uber? It's nothing. It's like even their graphics are a little bit, they're spiritless in a way. They're not spiritless. They're neutral face. Okay, so from this we can kind of get the idea of what the brand is targeting. And if you look at Uber, most of the time, look, the driver is almost not even there, right? He's kind of hidden in this guy's fingers. What do you see? You see the hand and you see the rider, right? Both belonging to the person experiencing Uber, but not the person who is actually providing the services for Uber. Whereas if you saw Gojek earlier, it was more related to the person actually delivering the service, right? So if you think about it, it's kind of interesting. The persona is the who. When you think of Gojek, you generally think of the driver. When you think of Uber, you generally think of the writer, right? So who that persona is actually pretty dynamic as well. But let's kind of take a look at this, right? Um, if you were to take a look at this, who would Bukit Vista seem like? Okay, maybe nice and open. What else? Is Bukit Vista patient? Is Bukit Vista impatient? Is Bukit Vista formal? Is Bukit Vista informal? Let's go to somebody else. Gani, what do you think it is?
I think more informal, more casual.
Okay.
We doesn't have the uniform. We
Okay.
always use t-shirt, and we pretty close with partner, pretty close with guests. So there is no boundaries with us. So kind of like apa ya, sejajar. What's called always. Yeah, what is in English? Yeah, we have a same level of the guest of the
Okay.
partner. So,
Oh, oops.
equal. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So we have kind of like a maybe like a democratic relationship, yeah.
Mhm.
Or why did I keep on doing that? Let's say we have a relationship of peers, then, yeah. Actually, wait, I think you're supposed to be doing this. So let's have the secretary put that in. Let's call this a relationship of peers, right? So like kind of like at equal level. Whereas some brands definitely put their customers in, let's say, a different. I think Uber is pretty clear about that, right? So you can see, okay, there's kind of like no peer here. The driver sits in the front, or driver sits in the front, and the passenger sits in the back. It's kind of already there's a class distinction there. Okay. Anyway, let's try to understand this a little bit more. But let's go on and see some other examples. Maybe that will help us get a bit more rounded out understanding of what this brand persona actually looks like. Let's go to here. This seems off-brand. Let's go to Jesslyn. Jesslyn, why is this off-brand?
I think the reason why this is off-brand is because this was posted in Instagram, right?
Mhm.
And Instagram is mostly used for the guest funnel. So
Right.
there's a different persona that we should use, which is as the host. I think when the person who made this post was writing the description, they kind of forgot that we have to switch to a different persona because this is more for property owners, but the way we write the description is still casual, it's still cheerful, it's still friendly. And I
Mhm.
think when we switch to a different persona, which is the consultant
Mhm.
for our partners, we should also portray what it means to be a consultant, which is, technical. We know our services, things like that.
Jesslyn, I think you know something more than I do at the moment because you remember that we're supposed to have a different voice for each particular user, right? We have one voice for employees, one voice. Where did you learn about this particular information?
At the top of this paper, sir.
Okay, let's go and look for that. Let's see if we can find that. So consultant, right? Let's see if I can find the word consultant. Consultant,
Yeah,
consultant. Ah,
exactly at the this one, sir.
right here.
You're the one who created this, sir.
I
By
know,
you.
but I created so much. I've kind of forgotten where I began. So sometimes I need a reminder. I'm like a squirrel, Victoria. I bury so many nuts. I forget where I put my nuts, and then I'm just like, okay, thank you for the reminder, and this is great. Okay, so we know that we should message as a consultant, and in the guest funnel, we should message more like a host, all right? A person who takes care. Okay, so that is interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that. Does anybody have any else that they would like to contribute here? Let's go to, I don't know, let's go to Bella. Bella, what do you think about this?
Mm, I think, uh, yeah, it's kind of make me feel like it's more like a furniture rather than a property management startup when I
Mhm.
see the post. So maybe I think that's something that we shouldn't have like emphasized on our post as a persona.
Okay, that's messaging, not persona, right? So what Bella just spoke about,
Ah,
this is related to what sort of intentions we conveyed. But the what in this particular case can be, is it on brand? Does it tell the story of Bukit Vista? Well, it does in a way. This is suggesting hospitality innovations that potentially positively transform. So that part of the what is somewhat correct. But the who is not correct in this particular case, right? Because we are addressing guests. And why would guests actually care about this type of issue, right? Because guests are the tamu. So you're kind of like telling them, hey, look, this is what you need to do to attract me, right? Like kind of almost spoils the surprise in a way. Let's go continue this. Let's go to Vicky. What do you think?
Yeah, I do agree about this, sir, because I think the this type of content will be better if we put it on maybe Facebook. I think because it's the social media that we optimize for partners.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I remember when Mas Rizal is still here, we actually have campaign to utilize Instagram for partnership as well. So maybe this is the part of the that campaign. Yeah, because
Ah,
that we got and not a leads, but there's someone who know us through Instagram and then contact us through, I think it's through WhatsApp, BD WhatsApp. Yeah,
mhm.
I think maybe that's part of the campaign as well.
I see. Okay, let's go ahead and look for that particular post. Right. Let's see how far ago was it? Was it
August, sir.
August? Yeah. Oh man. Okay. So is it
August
this one?
8th.
This is the post, right?
Yes.
Okay. As we can see, there was 7 people who liked it. I don't think any of these are no, right. None of these are particularly partner looking type people, right? There was Gani Shaylin, Wayana, Fun Torino. This guy, Alif, was one of our interns, and Nofian was a student, right? So, okay, probably not the right channel, right? Okay, but very, very valid, Vicky. I think Vicky was expressing this as an experiment in this particular case. Let's go to Gani.
Okay, I remember when Vicky said that we got leads from Instagram. So basically, that our partner, which is Bali Beautiful Vira right now, they interested us because they saw we are success, make guests satisfied, make 1,000 guests satisfied through our Instagram. So they
Oh,
are believing, oh, Bukit Vista always have guests, always have happy guests.
right.
So they are interested in the then they DM us.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that particular case, that's somebody who's doing a little bit of research, right, on the side. So they're coming in from a different angle. In that particular case, we just need to show happy guests, right? So I think that means that we just need to be on brand for the guest persona, which, oh my God, it's so hard to find anything now. This is a problem. Okay. This just means that as long as we use Instagram to describe how we're doing hosting really well, that means partners, some partners will see that and they'll become partners because of that, right? But we don't need to necessarily like put on a partner voice in a consultant voice in the guest channel, right? That they will just by doing more of what you're currently doing, because that's what brought them in the first place, right? But if you switch your voice like that, then I think that that can be a little bit awkward. Okay, great. Let's do this then, everybody. Let's go ahead and add these 2 examples into the brand guideline. Okay. Uh, Hui Ying, okay, this is where we need to put this in. So this can go under the on-brand persona, and this can go on the off-brand persona. Okay, and please put the sections of why onto the top there. Okay, great. Let's continue. Let's see what more we have. So Victoria, Victoria has this, and this is on brand. Tell us why, Victoria.
Yeah, so this is as a consultant, I think one of the most important if we want to convince our other potential to also consult with us is to show our result. And I think
Mm,
this is a good example of showing our result because here we can see, as I said before in our marketing scrum, partner transformation story is a part of a referral, but in forms of written written article. So I think this is also a good example of we can show our result as a consultant as well.
Excellent. Okay, very good. Let's go over to wait. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Victoria that this is the example of how we successfully uh, turn the her property to one of our manage under management.
Mhm.
So that is a good example for the future partner.
Okay. All right. Let's keep on going. Let's go to Vera. Vera, what do you think?
Actually, the insight Victoria gave actually quite new, and I don't know. It's great. I guess if we can like provide, like it's how to say it reflects our core values too, right? Like don't achieve use data, so you have to provide data to
Mhm.
prove what we have done.
That's
So yeah.
right. Okay. This is really good, I think, because this exemplifies a few things really well. One, it shows this is what we do as a consultant, right? And it's somebody else saying we did it, so that part makes it reinforcement of that brand persona. This is actually a really good line. They helped us become who we are now. That's positive transformation, right? That inspires delight. So, this particular line, just by showing that, kind of gets this idea of what we're trying to express across very, very succinctly. So, I think that's really cool. I think also really cool is behind every review is an experience that matters. So it's kind of going more into depth, right? It's like saying details do matter, experience matters, and I think this is awesome. And I like the fact that we've chosen like a good palette. Um, I don't know if this is intentional, but you can see sort of a gradient of color, which subtly implies transformation as well, right? There's like some sort of thing of color over here, and it gets more green, depending upon what your color is associated with. But that speaks a bit of transformation as well. And I think the way that this has been labeled here, you got a little bit of the brand, you got a smiling partner, you got the brand name everywhere. That kind of encapsulates it. So yes, I think this does get the idea of what we mean by a persona of the partner off really well. Okay, great. Let's take a look at the one that does not. Wait, this second one. Let's take a look at this one. Victoria, what is this one for? Is this on brand or off brand? Okay. Victoria. Okay. Since Victoria isn't here, let's have a discussion and see what other people think. Let's go to Jesslyn. Jesslyn, what do you think? Oh, Victoria's back.
Yeah, I'm back. So sorry for the disconnection.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about this and whether you believe it's on persona, off persona.
Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is, hey, wait, am I freezing? I think I'm freezing.
No, you're okay. We can hear you. Or I can hear you. Oh, no. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Oh, no, not so much. Okay, let's go to Jesslyn. Jesslyn, what do you think? Is this on persona, off persona?
I think it's off also because
Right.
I couldn't detect any persona in this post actually.
You're
It's
right.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's there's no Bukit Vista in it.
You're
Like
right.
us, or maybe using the word our, or maybe just a we. I couldn't. I don't detect any of those words. It's just about you, and yeah, that's why I think it's also off brand. It's not just off brand. It doesn't have. It's not just an off brand example of a persona. It doesn't have a persona, I think.
Right. Okay, let's go. Let's keep on going. Gani, what do you think?
Yeah, good. Good observation, Jocelyn. So, you detect a content that doesn't have personality. That's very good. I think so. I think this is could be our guideline or take a notes for the next Facebook campaign manager, especially doing. if I'm not mistaken. So the next, if you create the content or create strategies, always it give the personality inside of the content. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
very good.
one of the example. Good, good.
Excellent. Let's go to Wait. Wait, what do you think? What is here and what is not here?
I think this post has no relation to us and doesn't give any benefit to us. So
But why is there no benefit? I mean, there's 3 recommendations for decoration. That's kind of a benefit, no?
yeah, because it doesn't show what our surface. It doesn't. It's just a recommendation of decoration. We don't sell the decoration. I mean.
Okay, but the decoration could be helpful. It could be an innovation tip to help positively transform a partner, and the channel Facebook is used to transform partners. So what's really missing here?
It's lack of personal touch. Like if the copywriting, the language used is too formal and individual. Like it doesn't approach future partner.
Okay, let's go to Vera. Vera, is the problem with the copywriting or is the problem somewhere else?
Actually, I've been scrolling our blog post, right, sir? Because I think this post directed to the blog post, and I'm not really sure if we have the guideline for the blogs,
Oh, okay.
especially for this. Yeah.
Got it.
So,
Got it. Okay, so what do you mean by that?
so I'm not so sure if we're going to the guideline. If we're talking about the cover of the picture, maybe it's not according to guidelines. But again, I'm not sure if in the blog it's like a little bit different if we click the link, but we cannot, right? So.
I can click the link. Okay, I found it on Google search. This is it, right?
Oh, that's it. Okay. Ah.
But we're not talking about the blog right now. We're just talking about the
Yeah.
social media
The
posts, right?
post.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not really sure.
Okay, let's take a look at this. Here's a few things I see. This is a story. This is more fundamental than just persona issue. This is a misalignment between the visual and the story, right? So the story should be about recommended tips, right? But what does this picture represent? It kind of, I'm not even sure. If you put this picture to me and say, what am I trying to tell you with this picture? I wouldn't even know what to say. Is the subject the curtain, right? Is the subject, I don't know, something else? Yeah. What do you think, Victoria?
I'm so sorry, sir. This is a video. So this is a 1 minute video. So this is not a picture. So yeah, this is my mistakes. I just remember that we should have a GIF on that. But
I
maybe I
see.
can provide you the Facebook post link. I will look at it.
Ah, okay. Look, everybody, here's an important thing. This is a guideline for the guidelines now. If you post a video, then you must post a Jiffy, okay, or a motion graphic of the video. So you're going to have to learn how to do a screen capture of a section of your screen and then capture that and post that as a link, right? Because otherwise, we're not really experiencing the story, right? Okay, so Vicky, in this particular case, oh right, it does say video, right? Duh. Nobody saw that. So Vicky, let's have you post the video here, okay? And then we'll take a look at it later and see if it actually does integrate well, okay? Okay, great. Let's keep on going then. Let's go to Hui Ying. All right, tell us about this one.
Okay, so the on-brand examples is actually pretty similar to Vicky's one, which
Mhm.
is it shows the testimonial of the partners itself, which shows Bukit Vista's persona, which is positively transform the partners. And also there's an addition here is it also shows the tutorial of using Bigger,
Mhm.
which is reflecting our persona as a consultant in giving technical knowledge,
Mhm.
which can make the future partner or the other partners easier to search and to rewatch the video if they have questions regarding on how to use the bigger itself.
Okay, great. I like that. Let's keep on going. Let's go over to Jesslyn. Jesslyn, what do you think?
I think so too. I mean, because our persona for partners is as a consultant, and they should, yeah, we should be a consultant. They require our help in understanding something and doing something, and we are here to provide them with the materials, the resources, or solutions for them so they can solve their problems. And I think one of the examples is by explaining how to use one of our applications, and I think that's on brand
Okay,
with our
great.
persona as a consultant.
I think this is great. I think let's say wait. This represents two things really well, right? It represents what we do, which is the consultancy, and it also represents how we do it, our style, right? So this really reinforces this idea that Bukit Vista is informal, that it's casual, that it's friendly, that it equal, right? Like this idea that we're not going to be higher or lower or whatever than you, we're equal. Look at this picture. It kind of represents all those ideas in one particular frame, right? We're sitting on beanbag chairs. We're not sitting in a boardroom in a conference, right? The partner's relaxed. You know, they're kind of chilling over there. You can kind of tell that this is probably a Bukit Vista person. They have a Bukit Vista shirt. Okay, we're relaxed. We're not like all dressed in suits and everything, but yet we're giving a technical explanation. And we posted this also on YouTube as well, which gives us this feeling that we're competent, right? And we're willing to be transparent. And so all those different layers, I think, really represent the Bukit Vista persona very well, right? So all those are the adjectives that actually get stirred up into the how we style ourselves. So great. I think that's very exciting. Let's put that in. Let's go to Jesslyn. Jesslyn, is the video ready to take a look at? Yeah. Or sorry, that's Victoria. Victoria, is the video ready?
Yeah, I'm just trying to convert it to the to the GIF, but maybe if you want to look at the page, Facebook post.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at the page. I'll play that over here. All right. So let's take a look and see what we have. Okay. Let's go to Gunny. Gunny, did that feel like on brand or on persona or off persona?
I think, it need to be more on brand. Need to be more show the identity of the first moment of video.
Mhm.
But the rest is informational. But it's good. So we also inspire by giving useful information for partner. But needs to be more show the identity in the first moment.
Right. So this could be back what we were talking about here, right? Maybe the what is okay, right? The what is showing the possibility of hospitality innovation that can transform people. But the who, do you feel like
Mm.
okay, the music was kind of okay. The music sort of was casual, it was arbitrary, you know, but did you actually get a feeling like there was a person saying this to you? That's perfect, Gunny. All right, let's go to Vera. Vera, did you get the feeling that there was actually a person speaking to you in that video?
No, but I think I can add one more thing, sir.
Yeah.
I think based on this video itself, I don't know who's the people who made this video. I think they're just trying to showcase the persona of Canggu and Go instead of our persona.
Right. So they're like a neutral. It's like a ghost speaking, right? There's no embodiment of who the voice of the person speaking is, right? And remember, this is where vlogs are very different than traditional travel movies, right? Traditional travel videos. If you think of traditional travel videos, it's just about the place, right? They'll say, these are the top 10 things you should do in this region. Number one, and you don't even know who this person talking is. They don't even represent themselves. But then you think of like very popular vlogs, like, you always are seeing the world through this person's eyes, right? So this particular format, I think, is one where you're just reporting the facts, but there's no person there. It's just sort of like, here it is, right? This is what it is. But who's speaking? What is the personality of the person who's speaking? That part is left a little bit unclear, right? Let's go to Victoria. Victoria, how would you fix this? How would you attempt to like make it more enriching?
I think we can do it better on the next content. So because maybe for some background, what I can see here is actually we try to convert the blog article into a video,
Mm-hmm.
so it will be look more like a news, like
Ah,
somehow like a news
okay.
content from the news agency, like from like BBC. They sometimes just post a video like this. Yeah, I think it will be what more like that because we are this is based from the blog article. So
I
yeah, maybe
see.
if in the future curate our own content for the Facebook, I think it can be better.
I see. Okay. So in this particular case, I think let's look at the blog, right? The first thing in the blog is there's a person. There's Nadia who wrote it, right? And then she asks questions, right? So she's giving a voice to a perspective. She's sharing her own perspective. And from that, there's all these different subjects that she's going to enrich this subject with, right? There's all this different text that she's going to enrich the subject with. And then she kind of has a conclusion over here. Did you see that in the video?
Yeah, no, there's not
Right.
like that in the video.
It just kind of goes into, okay, here's 3 tips, right? And that's it. But okay, who are you? Why are you telling us these 3 tips? And what do you want me to do afterwards, right? So I think this is important. I think this can be like, you can just improve this with maybe a simple animation. You can think of it this way. Here's how I would visualize it, right? So just a simple animation, fade in, showing Nadia's avatar. Hi, I'm Nadia from Bukit Vista, and I'd like to share 3 tips with you that can inspire your property and be amazing. Tip number 1, right? Boom, right? And you can voice it over, so then you have a voice now instead of using text. But that then already starts adding color and texture into the way we create this, right? And then, okay, now that you have these 3 tips, I wish you very well, and mari kerja bersama with Bukit Vista in the future, right? So then you've actually expressed that story and you've introduced your own voice into that story, right? And it doesn't become a disembodied kind of piece of content. Okay, great. So Huiying, let's go ahead and put that as an example. Make sure we put the video link as something to avoid, right? As an example of off persona content. Okay, great. Oh, there's still so much more. We only have time for probably 2 more pieces. So let's take a look at this. I think we've already seen this one, but let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is Huiying. Why is this? What is this? Is this on brand or off brand?
It is a off-brand,
Why?
I think,
Why is it off?
because it is a post on Facebook page where it is mostly focused on partnership awareness, right?
Mhm.
But that is a content showing the types of vaccine, and it doesn't relate anything to Bukit Vistas and doesn't relate anything to property management itself.
Right.
So it doesn't target the right audience, I think.
Right. This is off message, right? This has no message to it. This is spammy in a way. This is like, oh, everyone's talking about COVID. I'm going to write a Me Too COVID article, right? Just so that I get something about COVID. But it doesn't talk about why owners should be, it doesn't have a consulting tone, right? What am I supposed to understand? Am I supposed to get a vaccine? Do I want my guests to have vaccines? How does it relate to, so not, basic off persona. So yes, let's go ahead and put this in the off persona section now. All right, and take a look at the next one. Okay, Gani, tell us what is up here. Tell us why this is on brand.
Okay, I think it's pretty straightforward. So why I put this on brand as a persona, because it's no, like I said before, it's no boundaries with guests and high engagement. So
Mhm.
we want to make equal level to our apa namanya, our audience, so,
Mhm.
guests, partner, employees. So we equal to everyone, and then happy vibes. So we of course we as a consultant, we want to solve the problem. So we always give the solution, and then apa namanya. So the end result will be happy.
Okay,
Something like that.
great. But in this particular channel, are we speaking as consultants? Or are we speaking as a different persona?
No. So this one, because the channel is Instagram, so we try to apa namanya, give the social proof that we always
Mm.
success make guests happy,
Okay.
and they stay.
All right. I think that's very good. So, yes, this one strikes me as the quality of what Bukit Vista should be as a host, right? You can see, well, the only problem here is the problem we talked about photos before, right? Who is Bukit Vista? Is it this guy? Is it her? Is it this little girl clinging on? Who is actually Bukit Vista, right? So that part is not clear. But let's say, for example, you could solve this problem with just a little subtitle and a caption down here, right? You could put like a little caption down here, Wayana, Bukit Vista co-founder and host since 2012. And then that would make it clear, right? And you can even put like Katie Kate, the daughter of Wayana, and Nadine, right? Wayana's co-conspirator and partner in crime, something like that. And that would actually add more richness and more context to this particular post. But yes, this is what a host should make people feel. This is what a host should make people. The people should understand a host is there for your birthday, right? So I think this adds actually a very some good qualities here, which I'm going to put as a note here. I think Bukit Vista is intimate, right? Intimate meaning that we don't put boundaries between ourselves and our guests. We are intimate, we are involved, and we are. I think we're, how would I say? It's like the opposite of being aloof, the opposite of, like when you go to like okay, let's say you go to a real luxury hotel, they keep a distance between like the guest and you, right? Like they serve you, you're getting good service, but they would never hang out with you, right? They would never. They might bring you your birthday cake, but they're not going to eat it with you, right? So this I think is like the physical difference that will bring you a birthday cake, and then we'll eat your birthday cake with you, and we'll share some stories and we'll laugh, and then we'll send you home, right? So okay, intimacy and involvement I think are two qualities that I'm capturing from this particular sense. Okay, let's go back up to the very top again, right? So this is back up to this idea of the mechanism. So the Amazon mechanism. So remember, at the very beginning of this discussion, we talked about we don't really have a clear tool, right, for understanding persona. We have this notion, but it's still kind of like a little bit abstract. So what we try to do today is we try to look at the outputs, which are the things that we believe are off guideline and on guideline, and to try to see, can we actually develop a tool, right? So let's kind of go in there and see if that actually started making sense, right? Here's what I'd like to do. Let's see. Why we are hosts, why we are consultants. Have we figured out a better understanding of these reasons here? Let's go over to Vera. Does it, after having this discussion, do you feel like you understand more about why we are consultants?
Based on our brands, yes.
Okay. And what does being a consultant mean?
Wait. Being able to provide solutions to our partners.
Okay. And we demonstrate our results, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And I guess you could say we're helpful. We're helpful and provide solutions. Okay. Let's go to being a host. Vera, what did you understand from being a host?
We provide hospitality to our guests, or like we put there our highest priority, I think I'd say.
Okay, we put our guests in a way that we treat them like
highest priority. I don't know how to say.
Like more like this, right? More like friends and family.
Ah,
Friends and family because we're casual with them, right? We're intimate with them, and we are involved with them, right? So that is more of a like a friend, right? And I think consultant too, we're this way too as well, right? We're also
Yep.
we take an informal approach. Okay. Okay, so these are just some of the qualities now that we have been able to program into the persona. Now we understand that a little bit better. Okay, about the messaging and man. Now this is interesting. Where does this belong now? Is it in the messaging or is it in the persona? A little bit tricky, but okay. We'll have to figure out where that actually goes next week. Okay, but in the meantime, let's go and ask Vicky. Vicky, now that we have guidelines here for so many different things, where are we deficient in and what should we come back to do next week?
Okay, I think actually I am kind of concerned about the definition of each of the like our elements because all this time we are actually like always inspecting and always looking at the examples, but we if we at the guidelines we don't really fill it out, so maybe we can also focus on the guidelines, so it will be also better for us to not reinvent the wheel, not repeating our mistake as well, so we can refer to our guidelines.
Okay, so we need to practice the guidelines now instead of just looking for examples of how to build the guidelines, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, then where should we focus, Vicky? Where should we take a look and double check to see if everybody is following the guidelines?
Mm, I think like maybe for this week maybe like if we want to still inspect, we can inspect the content that is posted after we have this guideline, so maybe
Ah,
for only. Yeah,
okay.
I think because it's supposed to be everyone is already know what are we doing in the branding guideline for the in the September. So I suppose in the October people are already referring to this guideline. So I think it will be more relevant for us as well.
Okay. How about this? We'll ask everybody here to bring one piece of content that you've published, all right? So everybody just bring one thing that you're going to publish in the upcoming week. Bring it here. We'll take a look at it and we'll decide is this on guideline or off guideline. You can bring one and I'll give extra credit for somebody who brings three, okay? 1 to 3 pieces of content that you've published. Bring it here and ask the question, am I on guideline or not, right? And we'll review it together as a group. Okay? Sound good? All right. So, Hui Ying, let's go ahead and tag everybody on that who's here today. Ask everyone to bring it in, especially the new people like Wei, and I think, yeah, Wei is the newest person here. So let's review your work and see whether or not you're following guidelines or not and redefine the guidelines. Okay, that's pretty much it. Let's see. Did we ever get that thing fixed on the brand book? Let's take a look. Said our check at the end of the Scrum. And let's see if we fixed the brand book. No, still ball. Okay. Vicky, would you be able to get that fixed for us before the end of today?
Yeah, of course, sir. So
Okay.
actually, I tried to log into my VP admin, but yeah, my internet got down, and I'm using my personal hotspot. So yeah, I
Oh,
cannot
okay.
open my
All
VP
right.
admin.
Make sure you get a good internet connection. That's fundamental, right? Remote work. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming in today. And that's it. So we're going to go into the marketing scrum now. And thank you for coming to the copywriting and branding discussion chapter or chapter discussion. Okay. Bye bye, everyone.